Not the saxophone player.
Good.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, at 7:01, I'll go ahead and call to order the February 21st meeting of the Wildorf 5J Board of Education to order. If you would take a moment, silence your cell phones and rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Diagano, would you please call roll?
Hunter Johnson? Here. Amanda Proctor? Here. Nate Fasano?
Here.
Amy Musgrave excused. Michael Wales?
Here. We do need to approve the meeting's agenda. I would like to make a edit to it. I'd like to remove item 7A. That's basically the subject of our work session, so kind of knock that out early. And so I'd make a motion that we remove 7A and reorder accordingly.
Second.
Motion by myself, second Vice President Sassano to amend the agenda, removing 7A and reordering accordingly. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, we have a new agenda. I have to entertain a motion to approve it.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Vice President Sassano, a second by Director Proctor to approve the amended agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. We have an agenda. Do we citizen comments on agenda items? All right. Let's go to staff and student celebrations and recognitions. Assistant Superintendent Kramer.
Well, good evening, President Wells, members of the board. We have quite a few celebrations tonight, but I first wanted to start out by saying that Superintendent Nielsen is dealing with a personal situation with his family this evening, so that's why he's not. Should be back tomorrow, so that will be great. So we have, like I said, several celebrations tonight, and the first one we're gonna call up our music staff to come on up. So we've got 3 of you here, right?
Yes.
I was like,
There's no pain.
come on up. So let's just have you come stand right here. How about that? So we want to recognize tonight the All-State Choir and Band students that we had. We are so excited, and congratulations to all of you. Good job. We appreciate all the work you do. And I love how you guys all work so closely together and, you know, working on the program to build and up to the high school programs. It's really wonderful. So thank you so much for all you do. We want to call up, let's start with the middle school All-State Choir. Would you call up your
You can just stand up front.
So first time in Weld RE5J history and Millington Middle School history, we had 4 students selected to the Colorado Middle School All-State Choir. So starting with our young lady, our soprano, Taylor Diener, come on up. And then our 2 tenor gentlemen, Finn Burek and Noah Curtis.
And holding down the baritone section,
Isaac Molina, come on up. There you go.
That's great, right there. And I love your sweatshirt.
Those are their All-State Choir shirts from this year.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so these are our middle school ones. And so would you please introduce yourself and tell us how did you end up going to All-State Choir?
I am Noah J. Curtis. I ended up going to All-State Choir out of, well, not really a want, more so a force.
Someone tried to get out of the audition, and I did not allow that to happen.
I was told that I was a very strong vocalist, and getting out of it was not an option.
Well played.
So in the heat of taking it, I actually found that I kind of fell in love with the concept, and I very much enjoyed my experiences.
Very nice. All right, next, tell us what happened tell us your name first, and then how did it happen for you?
I'm Vera, and I think I was also kind of forced because of all
That is not true. I didn't force you. Help me out.
But I'm glad I
So it was a good experience with you?
They need nudging, they're nervous. It's very stressful. They have to be locked in a room for 4 minutes with they can't do a retake, they can't do anything. So it's just like, trust me, trust.
Love it. Love it.
I'm Taylor Diener. I was not forced, but I was really nervous because I'm a soprano, and like I was in a separate choir, but I ended up having a bunch of.
My name is Isaac Molina. I wasn't forced to do that.
I did email your parents and tell them about it.
But I've been doing choir for almost 8 years now. It's been one of my joys and loves of my life, and it was just awesome. And I was in the beginning also. It was an amazing experience.
So would you guys turn way now and look at our school board, because they want to hear from you and give you a hand for celebrating your work. And they're gonna give you a little minutes and you can shake your hands.
Yeah, we'll come over to you. So we don't get anything, we don't get like a little bar of music?
Well, they weren't all in the same choir, so there's actually 3 separate choirs that perform. And the choirs were about 170 students each, so they got to experience really large groups.
I just walked by, so.
Okay, so well, real quick, so because this is kind of a historic moment.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
In more than one. So in the past, we used to give you a piece of paper that said congratulations for whatever it was you did. And we're sure it got folded up on the car ride home and never saw the light of day again. And so we were thinking, what could we do? What could we do as a Board of Education to give you guys something that 30 years, 40 years, 50 years from now, you'll look back on, be able to pull something out of a box or out of a drawer and say, oh, I remember that, and what a special time that was. So you guys are the first ones to be officially awarded our state champ challenge coins.
Yeah.
So it's awesome that we're the first group of middle schoolers to ever go to the all-state choir. So you guys are also breaking new records. You're the first ones to receive official challenge coin from the Board of Education.
Try to flash it in the hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations. But I want to shake everyone's hand. Great job. We're so proud, guys. Great job. Good job. You didn't sing for me. Good job.
Bust out some Backstreet Boys and trust me, they'll get going.
Now we know the secret. Yeah.
Congratulations, sir. Here you go.
I figured it was also worth mentioning these 4 will be part of a group of 60 that will be performing national anthem at the Colorado Eagles game this Friday night as well.
Oh,
So, that was a huge goal of mine when I took this job 3 years ago. We're very excited. So yeah, we'll get a video and send it out. And
So remind me what everyone's in again.
8788.
Okay, so all y'all are going to the high school next,
Except
choir,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna carry next year's
whole
sport.
program.
And we joined
Yeah.
many 7th graders that were really close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so exciting. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
All right, so in the 17 years I've been here, we've had 14 of those 17 years, we've had at least 1 student make All-State, and then most I've had in here is 3. This year we have Mason Farr, who's going to be part of the All-State concert band. And he hasn't had his experience yet. It's in April 3rd, 4th, and 5th, or 4th, 5th, and 6th, something like that. And just so the concert band is made up of students from schools of less than 1,100. And so this year, because they used the previous year October count, we're still there. But next year we might not get students in that concert band kind of depending on what they decide at that event. So he might be the last one in the concert band, but there's still another band, the All Symphonic Band. It's just kind of have to wait and see what they decide at that event. But I'm very happy to have him as part of the All-State Band this year and keep the tradition going.
Nice. Mason, tell us about your.
I've been playing clarinet since middle school, 6th grade. I didn't want to play clarinet originally. I wanted to play saxophone. And my dad, Lucy, he's also a band director, so he knows about the stuff I did. So I told him I wanted to play saxophone, and he was like, okay, what kind? And I said tenor, because I didn't know. I didn't know what they were, and he was like, okay, so for tenor, you're going to actually want to play clarinet, because you'll just have a better sound when you actually play tenor. And then I forgot about that until like sophomore or freshman year, when I joined jazz band and we needed a tenor player. So.
And he has a better sound.
There seems to be a theme of like little nudging.
So Dad was right. That's what I'm hearing.
Can I put out that on video on behalf of Mr. Burr?
I love it. All right, so does somebody else have a?
Yeah. You want to start down there and come around, or you can come shake
You want to go shake their hands this time?
I'm gonna get a hug. Family, and so he gets to hug me. Good job.
Congratulations, sir. I think I might be on the last. There you go.
Congratulations.
Michael's gonna get out.
Oh, yeah, I've got it.
We should have one more.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, so we'll call up our next.
Is our first student from RHS in 22 years.
Wow, that's quite an accomplishment. What year are you in?
I'm a junior.
Junior. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
And what was the experience like for you?
It was really fun. It was a lot of singing. It was a lot of singing, but it was a really cool experience, honestly, just being able to sing with so many people.
So the entire event is a 3-day, really exactly that. It's a sing-a-thon in downtown Denver. Jessica was a member of our treble choir. So just like with the middle school event, and similarly with high school, we have a treble choir, we have a changed voice, a tenor bass choir, and we have a mixed choir as well. So Jessica is a junior. Hopefully going back next year will be the first of many to be in the mixed choir as well then. It all culminated in a big concert in the Buell Theater with about 900 singers total, 300 or so in each choir. And out of the thousands of people who auditioned to be a member of the ensembles, just a tremendous honor to get to perform. So congratulations.
Amazing.
There you go.
Mr. H. has one more announcement that is hot off the press, and I thought he might be shy and not step up and say it, so I'm going to make him.
This was actually announced just today during school, so really with the presses. We have another event that happens on the state level with theater, and that's the annual Thespian Conference. So Thespian meaning theater person. The entire state of Colorado as high school theater, maker theater, people who are involved in all of that attend, along with folks from as far as Wyoming, some folks from Kansas. It's really the largest event in the region. And that event organized by a number of adult volunteers and by 10 high school students who are honored as state Thespian officers. This year, first time in Roosevelt's history, and by extension in Wells RE5J history, we have a student who is a rising junior who is then invited to be a state Thespian officer.
Nice.
That student's name is Piper. So if you happen to run into her, give her congratulations. Really, really, really monumental achievement. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
All right, the students, if you'll come back up, come get a picture with the school board.
Standing up high.
Come on.
I know, it's great.
Gotta flash your badge.
Noah.
Trying to figure out.
Where you're not blocking people. I know, he is, he's been this whole since he was here.
Why do you stand by him? I don't
You
know.
guys pop up on.
Somewhere.
I used to do pictures.
Yes.
Even out that
There we
way.
go.
There we go.
It's you holding up.
There we go. That's great. Now it's even.
Now you're tall.
Okay.
Let's see, is it Nathan in the, can you slide just, there, perfect.
Can one of the parents grab my phone off the floor and get a picture? Thanks. Thanks, Emily.
Jacob, could you slide us just go more?
Thank you, guys.
Great job, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this and coming up here. Just really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for having us here.
Yes, it's been really wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Stay, but also welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
Just so I can support about some now.
Thank you, guys.
There was one that was.
Oh, he's fucking.
Feel short?
I think I'm sitting on the floor. All right.
Okay, we ready to move on?
Yeah.
So that was good. I love that. I love how much our music programs are attained. It's exciting. The next celebration is our middle school was named a school to watch middle. And so they will be presented an award at the national conference in Washington, D.C. in June. They've also been asked to present at a conference in October. So this is quite an honor, and it had to do with all of the things that they've been working on as a school. I'll just read this quote really quickly. Middle School ignites student learning through intentional academic opportunities for all students, relentless relationship building, and innovative elective opportunities to meet interests of all students in the school. And this is from a board member from the Schools to Watch program. Milliken's faculty and administrative team continue to strive to innovate and elevate learning to reach and teach every child. They were selected based on rigorous requirements, and the team came to the school, visited all the classrooms, had a discussion, saw different meetings and things that were happening, and that was a part of their decision to award them. They also are only one of 3 schools in the state of Colorado, 3 middle schools in the state of Colorado to receive this. One of those schools is an extension to the award they had received previously, and it's Lesher Middle School in Fort Collins. So it's kind of a big deal. It's a neat honor. And we wanted to recognize them and Ms. Calvillo and her team with all of the work that they've been doing.
Will they be the ones going for the award ceremony?
Yes.
Summer?
Yes, and I think I might be joining them. So that will be exciting to be there. That's it'll be a neat opportunity to see how this all goes, and just for the work that they've been doing. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in my report, but very exciting for them. Another celebration is that Dr. Rebecca received the CACTA Emerging Leader Award. It was an award that was presented at the Colorado Association for Career and Technical Administrators conference that happened recently. And we nominated her. It was a group effort. And you can see on the screen there the screen that was at the conference that she was at. So here's a quote from Dr. Benson, or not Dr. Benson, Mr. Benson, the principal at the high school. Dr. Albert has been keenly focused and committed to career and technical education excellence through her leadership, vision, and actions for the CTE community. As the high school principal, it is wonderfully rewarding to have a colleague doing all of the required behind-the-scenes work required to meet and maintain compliance standards to facilitate opportunities for work-based learning students within CTE and to acquire financial support through grants and CDIP. And this is one of the things we just talked about in the work session with the reimbursement for some of our CTE equipment and programs. This is part of the work that Dr. Albert does for us. And she has only been in this role for a short time and has increased the number of CTE pathways significantly. So we want to celebrate her work and the work at the high school that she supports. The next celebration is the resume workshop that happened at the high school Friday morning. It's a really neat opportunity for students that are at the school to work on their resumes and their applications, and they practice an interview, and it's all in support of helping them to actually go to a job interview, fill out an application, and eventually get a job. So that's a program that Ms. Thorson and Mr. Aldridge are working on, and we had 20 plus students that did it that day. So that was really, really inspiring. Our girls varsity basketball team won last night. So they're into the playoff picture right now. Their next game is Friday. And so we'll see how things go for them. They were state champs last year, so we're hoping that they'll do really well again. We had 4 wrestlers that went to state, and we plan to honor them at a future board meeting when that time comes. And our next celebration is for Elwell Elementary. We have Mr. Willard here, as well as some other folks that Mr. Willard worked closely with for a while as Elwell was being built. So Mr. Willard, I'm going to turn it over to you if that works for you.
So good evening, Assistant Superintendent Kramer, President Wales, and esteemed members of the Lodi School Board, Grade 5J School. Tonight, I'm delighted to share with you our achievement of Elwell Elementary School in becoming a verified CHIPS school. CHIPS is the collaborative for high performance schools. This recognition is a testament to our collective commitment to providing a nurturing and sustainable learning environment for our students. CHIPS, as many of you may know, stands at the forefront of the movement to construct schools that are not only environmentally friendly, but also foster enhanced student performance and well-being. At Elwell, we have embraced this mission wholeheartedly. The results speak for themselves. Our architectural design isn't just functional, it's inspirational. It seamlessly integrates high-performance features that not only embrace our building's functionality, but also serve as a beacon of sustainability and innovation. From the moment you step inside Elwell, your group spaces that prioritize health, environmental consciousness, and academic excellence. One of our most significant aspects of our design is the emphasis on natural lights and views. With 90% of our learning spaces offering access to the outdoors, will not only boost student performance, but also promoting relaxation and well-being among our occupants. Studies have shown that exposure to natural light can significantly improve mood, productivity, and even sleep quality. Moreover, our commitment to environmental responsibility extends to every facet of our school. Materials were carefully chosen to minimize VOCs, ensuring a safe and healthy indoor environment for all. LED lighting, advanced controls, efficiency HVAC systems not only reduce our carbon footprint, but also contribute to our significant energy savings. Noise reduction is another crucial aspect of our design. While visually open, Elwell employs specialized glass doors and sound-absorbent materials to create a tranquil learning environment conducive to focus and concentration. Efficiency stop at our utilities. It extends to our water use as well. Our toilets and sinks are designed to conserve water without compromising performance, furthering our commitment to sustainability. And let's not forget about our biophilic design. It took me a while to figure out what biophilic design meant. That's when you incorporate the natural elements into the patterns of our building, but it helps foster a connection to your environment and promote overall well-being. Even our landscaping reflects our dedication to sustainability. By reducing irrigated turf and incorporating artificial turf, native grasses, shrubs, and trees, we're not only conserving water, but we're creating a vibrant outdoor space for our students to enjoy. In conclusion, Bellwell's achievement as a verified CHIP school is a testament to our district's unwavering dedication to creating a healthier, more sustainable future for our students. I'm immensely proud of our collective effort, and I'm confident Bellwell will continue to serve as a model for excellence for years to come. I don't know if there's any questions. I was like, I had to get it all down, so I had to write it. So,
high five.
That was great. That's amazing.
so it's a pretty big thing. We'll find a place to hang it.
So how are they actively searching the CHIPS program for schools? Are they nominated, or how does that process work?
We have excellent people to help design and then go through the process, and it's pretty rigorous.
It was a requirement for the best grant.
Oh, got it.
We had,
Like, there's some different pathways you can go on. You could do leads, or there's some different things. So CHIPS is the one that we want to do. So you have to have the right architecture crew, then you have to have the right builders to put it into place.
Nice. Collaborative efforts.
Are you guys putting out a press release on your side, either of you? I'm just looking at like where we'll be hearing about it. No? You guys don't shout it from the rooftops at all?
Yeah, we'll definitely put it on our website. Advertising.
We'll put it out on social media and
I know it was a requirement, but it's one of those things that's still really like, it was thoughtful from the beginning, and
yeah,
it's hard to do in practice, and
absolutely.
even if it was a requirement.
Yeah, it's a meaningful set of standards to implement that make a difference.
Well, let's get a picture with everybody with that
That's what
thing.
I'm thinking.
Yes,
Like, why are we sitting
because
there?
we're going to promote it too.
You guys have to get the picture too. You didn't come here just to sit there.
Tucker,
No?
that's a great synopsis. And you got everything.
Did a really
That
nice
was
job.
really well
And that was for
put
the
together.
moment, so thank you. Good job.
You want the press release photo to be you sleeping on
Tucker,
top.
hold one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Let's get down.
somebody. Yeah, not, yeah, you guys hold it. I'll be back here by 10.
Why don't you come by me?
I'm usually the person in back.
I don't know why. I'm usually the person in front. Isn't that weird?
That's fine. Come up here and hold it up.
Nate's really, you won't block him.
Back, come over here. You guys did the work.
Yeah, we'll scoot.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
scoot.
Not else but are you?
Yeah,
You can up there too.
Celebrating everybody. That's right.
This looks great. Okay?
I hold my breath too, just in case.
It looks good.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I mean,
so much. Appreciate your work.
Really nice. Great job.
That's cool. Thank you guys.
Thanks so much. It's really amazing.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Thank you.
That's great.
I think we're going to have you guys back for.
So,
Keep your calendars open.
President will have the picture up there if we want to give.
I know, done it all at the
Oh,
same
we have
time.
one?
We don't have the actual, but we have those that we could give.
This is in production.
Okay,
Production.
so you are getting a coin.
Yeah, you are gonna get a coin. When these are ready, we've got these, this coin for you to thank you from Wells RE5J Board of Education and Superintendent. So those will be coming sometime later. They're in production. So thank you so much, Mr. Willard, and thank you all for being here. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that concludes my celebrations. I have more to talk about in the report, but.
Any questions? Or
There's so much celebrants, it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
Any other celebrations
That's
that,
really cool. Yeah.
Any more celebrations?
I mean, do you guys have anything that you want to,
Oh, yeah, I'll just add to what.
let me phrase that. Any other things that you want to add to celebrations that are not board reports?
They're very similar.
You always slip us into your segue into the board reports.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I will just say, when it takes half an hour to do all the operations of stuff that's happening in the district, something's going right.
That's a good thing.
This feels good.
Yep.
And
Love
it is
that.
filling in reports too, because I couldn't quite get it all in there, so.
Don't fill into
I'm
reports.
telling you.
You'll get in trouble.
I have it worked out.
Well, let's move on to board reports. Monica, why don't you start us off?
I got some board reports.
Well, I got to participate in the resume workshop. That was so much fun. Anytime that I can be one-on-one with students is a very, very special time. And so I love that our school is doing that. And I just think in comparison to when I was in the high school position to where these kids are now, and I am telling you, they are leaps and bounds ahead of where I was at their age. There was not such thing as a resume workshop for the high school I did. And these kids are getting feedback and practice and help with their interview skills. So that was a real honor to be a part of that. And in addition to that, I also got to see the state wrestlers have their send-off. I thought that was fun. I was there that day, so that was fun to see all of the school support as we send off our state wrestlers. And this is just a long personal note, but also a board report, because I just want to thank the Rotary Club. They selected my senior for their Student of the Month award. And so that was the first time I got to participate in that meeting with the Rotary Club that happened at the school. And I just want to publicly thank them for being such huge supporters of our students and all the support that they give them, the encouragement, and being able to have a support system like the Rotary Club is very special. So I just wanted to thank them. So I think that's all my board report. Kind of with a celebratory.
Yeah, you probably should have shared those during celebration, because a lot of that was celebratory.
Kick it off the records.
Well, congratulations to your daughter too. I was excited
she
to see
did.
that she was the.
She did really, really well. Yeah, sometimes you look back and you think, well, we did one thing right. Maybe not all things, but yeah, it's just not her. It's all these students that just have so much poise and they're so ready to enter into their next phase of life, whether that's college or career exploration. So yes, I'm just so proud of what our school district is contributing to make those next steps happen successfully. It's really neat.
Board report. So I think the only thing I've done in the last couple of weeks is attend the DAC. Monica was there too, so. We did do that. I got to wear my fancy jacket at DAC. I also wore it at a middle school volleyball tournament and minded my manner and wore it with pride. So I did very well. But yeah, it was fun at DAC. They announced the MMS award. And I do have to say, Aspen Middle School Principal, Cabullo, thank you. She's very lady holds her emotions, and I would be all super excited and all the time, and she's just very even. I don't know, but she was very excited about it, and I'm excited to see them. One thing that was interesting that I thought when we talked about at the DAC was that this award is a designation that lasts 3 years. So I thought that was interesting. And then I think what she seemed a little nervous about is that in October, her team or somebody from the MMS is going to present at a Colorado conference about what they're doing in the building that's good, that led them to the designation. And I think that's a little nerve-wracking because sharing what you're doing to a group of peers who are probably reading the same books and they're reading the same literature and you're telling them what's happening is probably a stressful experience. It's really exciting. We talked about the RMS construction being on time and on budget. There were questions about it, that it's about how many it is, and it's being built for 900 students, and currently MES only has about 660. So yes, there is room to grow in that building. I know that people have been worried in the community, but yes, there's room to build. And then I actually think the most exciting part of that entire thing was breaking out into groups to talk about the family school community partnership and ideas of like what people liked or what they could do. And I thought each group did a really good job of picking different things, and there were similar topics from like beginning of the year pancake breakfast to having consistency through the school, about sharing micro volunteer opportunities that are very specific so parents know exactly how they can engage and when to engage. I really find it really important. I don't, as a parent myself, I don't send my kid to school and forget about that community. It's really a partnership. Like I want to be able to have that partnership and that flow of information, not only with her team, with administration, and be involved as much as I can without being a burden. So I like the idea that that's still at the top of our minds. I can't wait to see some of those ideas come to fruition. Like I think that when you're in an ideation stage, it bounces into even better ideas. Your turn.
Okay. I don't have a lot in the report, but just some comments I want to just kind of publicly put out there. But and I want to go back to the kids we had here to celebrate today. It's really cool to see the music programs developing the way they are. I've always been a little disappointed that at this school the size that Roosevelt is, about 1,100 students, that our marching band, for instance, maybe 40 kids. And they sound great. They do a great job. They win competitions. They're amazing. But there should be 200 kids in that marching band. And I know some of the other music programs have had some low numbers too. And that I think is because there hasn't really been a feeder program from the middle school into the high school, at least for the last few years. And I know this year, I have a 5th grader at PRE, and they went over to MMS only to experience the music programs. It wasn't a welcome to MMS day, it wasn't a transition day, it was just come check out our music programs. And my daughter shocked me and signed up for choir because of that day. So I think there's some really good work happening at MMS that I think will feed up into the high school, and we'll see more kids here celebrating things like All-State Choir at MS. So I'm really excited to see that. I hope it expands the music programs quite a bit at Roosevelt in particular. So so that was exciting. What else? From a report standpoint, I was able to attend the 3rd grade wax museum at PRE yesterday. And if you ever get an opportunity to go check out the wax museum, the historical figures and sometimes current years, I got to meet Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande today. It was very cool. The kids did a really good job, and it was really exciting to see the work that they put in, to see their families celebrating with them at that event, where the teachers are putting in. It was a lot of fun. So if you get a chance to go to the wax museum, I don't know if the other schools do that too, but at PRE at least,
every year,
that's a thing. It's been a thing for a couple of years. It was really exciting. So other things, I'm excited for the tour of RMS on Friday. I think that'll be exciting to see kind of where we're at. I know it's somewhat on budget, but I haven't seen it in a little while, so it'll be exciting to see. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good happening in our district right now, and that's really, really exciting. So
very good. So yeah, we don't forget we have the RMS tour. Sounds kind of weird saying it.
No,
I think
it's going to take a second to get used to.
On Friday. And then before I forget, March 20th, we are not going to have a board meeting.
That's good. I was gonna not have to be there.
That was, spring break, so. I didn't have a whole lot either. We did have a best grant board meeting last week. I just wanted to share the highlights. So we're preparing for the May meeting. That's when we read all the grant requests and vote. There's 57 applications this year, requesting a total of $669 million from BEST for a project total of $955 million, almost $1 billion in capital construction projects just in the BEST program. That's districts who are going outside of best. So a lot of,
And how much money is there to award?
not that much. Yeah, this year it's going to be right around 200 million. So, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if I've shared this with you guys or not. I'm one of the other boards I serve on is the Weld County Workforce Development Board. And so last week we had our joint board sitting with the Larimer County Workforce Development Board because we try to do a lot of stuff regionally with them. And it was interesting because there's a room, there's like almost 50 people in this room trying to come to consensus and come up with ideas and organize these boards. But we're discussing the 4 priorities of the state that the State Workforce Development Board has put out, and just seeing, you know, how we're in line with that regionally, where we can improve. But the one thing that standout to me is and I went at a table with the gal from Poudre School District, and so we were getting a lot of questions about CTE, concurrent enrollment, and workforce or work-based learning opportunities, internship. There is a lot of confusion outside of our circle about all of this. Parents, employers, the public at large doesn't understand what it is, where it is, who has it, who doesn't have it, who has what, if they do have it, who doesn't have what they don't, you know, there's so much. And so I think one of the big takeaways that we got from that, and I did speak with Scott about this at a meeting, and I feel like our district could be a leader in that because it is still, a lot of this is still so new to us, and we are trying to, I mean, we have Dr. Albert getting awards for her involvement in this, an opportunity where we can start documenting some of this stuff and really kind of setting the pace and setting the example. How do you share what you're doing in your district with your district and even a larger audience too? So I hope that we can take advantage of this serious confusion that is out there, because just at the table that I was sitting at, there were probably 18 people at our table, and they were like, yeah, what's P-TECH and CTE, and what's the difference between VOAG and P-TECH and concurrent enrollment, and what's dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment, and what's the difference between an apprenticeship and a work-based. So lots of opportunities, though, I think, to really sell what we're doing in our community, obviously as a region, what we're doing in our schools. Because the parents, I mean, that's the one thing, the parents don't realize what these opportunities actually mean. The students have a pretty good handle on it, they should, because we're probably beating them over the head with it. But the employers don't know. And I think that's one of the things that Workforce is really trying to change their thinking on this, is that we're looking, you know, traditionally we've looked at big employers, UC Health, I mean, best big employers, but we're trying to shift now to say, what about Mary's Tech Service, who has Mary and her daughter? Could they take 2 interns to learn how to do text preparation? Because we provide students who know how to do text preparation. How do we get them involved? How do we get them excited about the opportunities coming out of our schools? So a lot there. One other takeaway I got from that, again, I have spoke to Scott about this. Apparently, the Greeley Chamber of Commerce has an education committee. And part of that is selling to the chamber members what is going on in the schools related to workforce, related to apprenticeships, work-based learning, even student workforce. And District 6, the only district in that who is taking advantage of selling what they're promoting. I don't know if you guys know this, but we are also, Greeley is one of our municipalities in our school district. And so I told Scott, I think we should go ahead and see if we can get a membership in the chamber and have representation in that committee, so that we can start plugging our students into what's happening in Greeley, and maybe vice versa, trying to get some of that back to us. And the final thing I'll say is I had somebody approach me today and say, I am so proud of this school district. There's an elderly person. I'm so proud of this school district. I said, oh, I am too. And I said, why? What's specific? And she said, these CTE programs that I read about in the paper. She's like, you guys just keep adding more and more of these. And she said, that is so exciting for young people. I said, it is exciting. She said, talk more about that. I said, we're going to. So, so there are some who are paying attention and do understand it, but I think by and large, there's a lot who don't. So, and that is all I have.
Can I add just one thing that I forgot to mention? I apologize.
Is it a celebration?
Well, kind of. More just a reminder. Tammy mentioned it briefly, but the girls basketball team is doing very well. They will play their final home game this year on Friday. So I know you mentioned it, but it is their final home game. I don't know if we know yet. We know?
It wasn't posted before.
I'm going to guess 6, but I don't know for sure. And I say that because it is their final home game, because when they win, they will be playing the rest of their games in Denver. So if you have a chance, and to anybody that might listen to this between now and Friday, go to the game. They could use a good crowd. So
really interesting, because isn't FFA doing their family night this Friday night as well at the Roosevelt?
yeah, Thursday. They can come over after the.
That's what I was thinking. Like, how do we do this?
Yeah, I don't know, but I know the girls are playing on Friday.
Yeah, and of course the FFA would have been scheduled earlier about this game until last night.
Yeah.
Because we won last night.
So anyway, just a reminder thing.
Good reminder.
And that made me think of one thing too. Currently, we have our state HOSA competition happening down in Denver, and that Health Occupations Club over at Royal High School. And what we should be so proud of is that is another program that is growing in leaps and bounds. I don't want to say the exact number because Mrs. Summers will be angry with me, but I think it's quadrupled the amount of people she took to state last year compared to this year.
Awesome.
So a significant jump, and a lot of that goes to the work that they're doing in the CTE program, as we're bringing in all of these new opportunities for students that are choosing to do a career in health occupations. So that's just something to report. I'm not celebrate yet.
It's like a runaway train up here.
That was good.
Put my hand on the brake. Okay, anything else? Any other reports or celebrations? We'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Wales and members of the board. I love how our reports and celebrations intertwine, because I think it's truly a testament to what we're doing in the district. And so to your point, President Wales, about the situation with people not knowing about some of the things that we offer with internships and work-based learning and those kinds of things. On Tuesday, I think it is week, our JDDA board and JDDA group is going to meet at the high school and learn more about those opportunities. The businesses that are in our Johnstown community are going to be going to have a brunch there that is guided by our culinary arts program, our ProStart. And so we'll have some good food and begin that work, teaching them more about what is available.
And I think you guys all should have received an invite on
I'm
that.
definitely going, because if you took the brunch last time.
If they make that French toast casserole, you'll say, yeah.
That's right.
Get ahead of Michael's even.
So that will be if you all can, or whoever can join for that. That will be a good meeting for us. So I just want to highlight a few things that I've talked about earlier, and you'll understand where I'm going with this in a little bit. But first of all, the work at the middle school with Ms. Calvillo and her team and all the staff at the middle school, the things that they've been doing to align priorities and goals, being collaborative, having high expectations, which is really hard in a middle school when middle schoolers don't want to follow what you want them to do. Using their time effectively, planning together, having their PLC time. This is all work that has been happening these last few years, and you can see where it's heading with this award that they've just received, that then is a 3-year award like we talked about, and an opportunity to continue the work is very exciting for them. And then the work of our CE, Dr. Albert increasing the CTE programs and other opportunities for our students. The comment that you made about the elderly woman that you talked to and recognizing that is really wonderful. And then, the award that Elwell received for an innovative design, a nice learning environment for our students and staff. We did the video shoot all day yesterday and this morning for the video for the Weld County website and for us to use as a school district. And we went to every school. We spent a lot of time in different CTE programs, different, the music, engineering, construction, welding, everything that we could go to, except for HOSA because they were gone. But we did try to go to CNA and sports medicine. We didn't get the opportunity to video those. But the point in mentioning all of these in the report is all of these point to the work and support of what you do as a board, and just the support that you give us. We thank you for letting us work that we need to do, the important work that we're doing, and appreciate your support in being able to do that. All of these celebrations that we have would be possible without you. So thank you. One last thing for this report is these flowers that are here for each of you. We were able to video students working on these floral arrangements yesterday, and they wanted them to you in our plant science program. Although the greenhouse is getting up and running, they were in there yesterday. We videoed them. They're planting. Their goal is to plant their own flowers to create these floral arrangements. So
that was my question.
We're at the beginning stages of that.
Yeah, I've had a number of people ask me, are these arrangements that they specifically did for Valentine's Day, were they grown in the greenhouse? And I said, I don't know if it's up and running yet, but
it's very in stages, and they're waiting for some equipment and things like that, but they were putting soil in the little cups to plant seeds and that sort of thing. So it's definitely underway. So lots of celebrations, all of those programs, but really, my point in bringing those up again was to say we couldn't do all this without the support of all of you. So thank you. And you already talked about the tour of us Friday morning at 7:30. So that concludes the report from Maya. And then we have our great CFO coming up next.
Well, I'm going to call an audible, and I'm going to jump back because I forgot one thing.
An audible. I like it.
Yesterday, I got to end with Ms. Miller the Special Education Advisory Committee's meeting, and a lot of great work going on. With that, we were working on the bulk of the day was spent with para training, putting together some information for paraprofessional training. But it's that group is, there's a lot of energy group, and it's such positive energy. It's the cool thing. Like there's right now I'm making like every other meeting because I have another commitment on the same day. But it's I've yet to hear a negative comment about our special ed department. And if there is, they present it in the light of this is an opportunity for us to grow. This is an opportunity for us to make things better through this committee. So I want to recognize Ms. Miller for the work that she's doing with this, because I think it's going to be we're going to see a lot of positive things come out of this, and it's going to help a lot of families who are bringing children into our school district, who will have lots of questions about special education and how to get the services they need for those kids. Yeah. Now let's go on to our superintendent's report, or our CFO's report. Mr.
Thank you,
Everest.
President Wales, members of the Board of Education, and Assistant Superintendent Kramer. Tonight, I'd like to give just a brief overview of the district's financial status. Here we go. One thing on this first slide here that I would like to call out is that we, for our monthly revenue for January, we actually have a negative number in that. And the reason for that is basically two things. The dramatic reduction in state share payments that we're currently getting. If you remember from last time we talked about this, we started off the year with a state share payment of about $1.4 million. And with the adjustment with our assessed valuation, the dramatic change in that, our state share payment for the rest of this year is going to be around $57,000. So that reduction in revenue, coupled with the revenue transfers that I need to do each month, primarily for our two charter schools, and then with us not yet receiving our local property taxes yet, that will be next month. So so when I report to you next month, February, it's going to be something very similar situation, but we will, in March 10th, we will begin receiving our revenue for our local property tax. So then our revenue numbers will jump quite a bit when that starts happening. So I did want to call that out to you because that is something very unusual that I just wanted to point out to you. Otherwise, so this report is for July through January, so that's 58.33% through the year. So if you look at the year-to-date numbers in the report, all of them are, significantly under the 58% point. So moving on to the second slide. Again, with district departments, year-to-date, just under 43%. Insurance reserve fund, food service fund, definitely within what would be considered normal boundaries for where we expect for this time of year. Moving on to the slide, again, grants fund, student activities, bond redemption fund, all within where we would expect for this time of year. Moving on to the fifth slide, again, building fund, capital reserve fund, in the areas where we would expect for this time of year. And then moving on to our last slide, food service participation update. This one, so this compares January 2024 to January 2023. And last month we had 2,787 average reimbursable meals served in the district each day. January last year, that number was 2,051. So we saw an increase of 736 more average meals per day served, which is an increase of almost 36% year over year. So again, and this is right in with the increase in participation that we've seen, since really the beginning of the year, and that's attributable to the Healthy School and All program. This concludes my CFO report, and I can answer any questions the board may have.
Questions? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, President.
We'll move on to the consent agenda. Our adopted rules of parliamentary procedure provided for a consent agenda, listing several items for approval of the board by sanction. Most of the items listed under the consent agenda have gone through board review and recommendation. Documentation concerning these items has been provided to all board members and the public in advance to assure an extensive and thorough review Any item may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any board member. Otherwise, I would entertain a motion.
Move to accept the consent agenda as provided.
Second.
I have a motion by Director Proctor, a second by Director Johnson to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Diagono, would you please pull the board?
Monica Johnson,
Yes.
Amanda Proctor,
Yes.
Nate Fasano,
Yes.
Michael Wales.
Yes. Recess, does anybody need a, I know we went straight through a work session to this, so I had to take a break, so. We'll move on to our special business. Our item of special business is the adoption of the calendar for the 2024-25 school year. Ms. Kramer.
Yes. President Wales and members of the board were excited that we have worked through the process of developing our calendar for the 2025 school year. This is a little earlier than usual to have this ready, and I know families appreciate that, so they can start planning, making plans for next year. Wanted to highlight a few things. First of all, Karen Iser led this work this year, and we had a great committee with people represented from schools, administration, teachers. We also had transportation as a the group. We had special education, had preschool, just made sure it was a well-rounded group to discuss the best way to develop the calendar and meet the needs of everyone, staff, students, families. So just to point out a few things, this year, one of the big changes is we added 5 elementary planning days. These are days that will occur on the calendar for a day where kindergarten through 5th grade students will not be in school. Middle school and high school students will have school those days. This has been an issue for several years. We've been trying to figure out a way to help our elementary teachers get the plan time that they need and make it more closely aligned with what is available for middle school and high school teachers. With the block schedule, middle school and high school teachers have a 90-minute planning time almost every day, and elementary has a 6-minute plan time. And so we have been very creative trying to figure out a way to meet these needs without spending a ton of money. And this is a solution that districts around us and around the state use to meet this need. We looked at the WIN calendar in particular. They have 5 days built in their calendar, and we used a similar model to include those. So that will be an adjustment for families, but it will help elementary teachers have the time to meet for subjects, and that's a challenge. We switched it up a little bit where we don't have full plan days and full work days, teacher work days. We kind them so that it's each time there's a day where it has a slash through it, it's a day off school for students, and that day can be used for planning as well as professional development for our teachers at all levels. We put that in so that it was at more regular intervals so that PD can happen frequently as well as teacher work time throughout. There are no half days for students this year built into the calendar. If it's a day off, it's a full day with this calendar. The first day for teachers is August 6th, and for students is August 12th for 1st through 12th. Kindergarten will start August 15th, and preschool will start August 15th. There's a comp day for conferences earlier in October, and that was something that teachers had asked for. October seems to be a challenging month because a lot of times there's not time for teachers, and they have to prepare for conferences. It seems to be a pretty busy month with a lot of things going on, so we were able to help that need. We have a full week for Thanksgiving, as we've had in years past. We have 2 full weeks for Christmas break. as well as a couple of extra days for families. Those 2 full weeks, some of our families really have expressed how much they love having the 2 full weeks and the 3 weekends that are built in. And, you know, that just is based on where Christmas falls in the week, as well as New Year's Day, obviously. But this year is one of those ones that people love. We have MLK and President's Day observed as we have for the last several years. Spring break is the same week as it is this year. And the comp day that's in the spring for conferences is added on to spring break as it was years past. It's not in this current year calendar. And we heard that people like to have that day attached to spring break, so that is back there. And the last day for teachers is the Friday before Memorial Day. So that's their work day. So the students get out the day before that. And I don't know if graduation will be on Friday night or not, but if it is, then that kind of helps with families planning for graduation at the end there. So those are kind of the highlights. Does anyone have any questions?
Just to be very clear, the yellow days with the blue line through are all students are off. Purple days with the blue line through are elementary students are off.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you for that information.
More just for me, because then I'll remember what we did when I look at it next time.
So I do have a couple questions about the 5 planning days for elementary. What happens with preschool?
So they happen to fall, that's a great question. They happen to fall on Fridays, and Fridays we don't have preschool in session every Friday. So we didn't put that on this calendar specifically for those 5 days because they have a separate calendar that they create based on this and based on their 4-day week. Because preschool doesn't have plan time built in to their or the rest of the week, they don't go to specials like the other students do. They have 3 hours of morning preschool or afternoon preschool. And so those teachers don't have the built-in plan time daily. So that's why they have Fridays where the kids don't come to school. So they will be off on all 5 of those days as well as the Fridays.
Okay. And then what about classified staff on those days in those buildings?
They will be a part of the planning time on the elementary purple days for sure. The other days that are the yellow with the blue, we always create calendars for classified staff depending on the number of days that they have on their contract. So they will work some of those days and some of those days they won't. But the elementary plan days, those elementary classified staff will be working the plan day.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? So we can take action on this evening if we so choose to, and if we so choose to, I would entertain a motion.
I'm going to move that we approve the calendar for the 24-25 school year.
I'll second.
A motion by Vice President Snow, a second by Director Johnson to approve the calendar for the 24-25 school year. Any discussion?
Mrs. Creamer, does this go out immediately to families, or when will this be available to families?
Yeah, we will get it posted on the website right away after it's approved by you, so that families can start planning. And also, our charter schools are always interested in what we adopt, so they decide if they're going to follow it exactly or if they're going to adjust at all. So we've been in communication with them, and obviously, like I said, families want to know, the staff wants to know. Start thinking about it now.
Okay.
Please pass our thanks on to the staff that work on. I know it's a lot of negotiation time that goes into this, so thank you to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ms. Diagana?
Monica Johnson.
Yes.
Amanda Proctor.
Yes.
Lisa Sano.
Yes.
Michael Witt.
Yes. Any other items deemed necessary by the board? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and adjourn at 8:11. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.